And boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm for Classic and welcome to BenchART. So for today what I do have in it is Saints Row the Third Remastered. So this game was initially developed by Evolution, but this remaster it is handled by an outsourced team called the Spirasoft. And I'm not really sure what these guys were trying to prove, but they have probably made one of the biggest and yet better remasters I ever seen to date. But first let us start with the settings. So I'm playing with 1080p median settings, and this is for targeting a comfortable experience above 30 frames per second. And as you can see with median settings, you still lose some stuff like motion blur, which I believe that not all the people do enjoy it, but still you lose screen space reflections. All the rest of the settings, despite there are downgraded shadow quality, it is still pretty good, as well as the draw distances and the level of detail. So looking to the requirements, you can clearly see that these guys ask for a minimum of 4 GB of VRAM, as well as a stronger graphic card. But honestly, probably the minimum requirements are for 1080p 60 frames per second. I'm not really sure, because with the actual graphic card that I have in here with the low settings, which looks awful, what I got was an average of 70 frames per second and 1% of 52. So for me, the good graphics starts at median, where you get an average of 52 with a 1% of 39. And if you decide to go with the high settings, which in my opinion looks absolutely great, and comparing to the maximum, it is pretty much the same thing, alright? The average was 45 and the 1% low it was 31, which means that at the high settings you can expect an experience above 30 frames per second most of the time. The issue is the places where I did test the game, it was pretty much at the beginning, alright, these first missions, and I did completed the original some years ago, and I know how crazy this game can get, with tons of explosions going on, a lot of stuff happening, so it is really an insane game, and so I'm pretty sure that these minimums of 31 frames per second on the high settings, it might get pretty lower than that. So that's why I do recommend you to go with median, where you get an experience above pretty much 40 frames per second or something above, and in those demanding moments with tons of explosions going on and stuff flying all over the scenario, probably the minimum you will see it is around 30, so I would say that median settings it is certainly a safe bet. So talking about the remaster, these guys changed a lot how the game looks, especially with the inclusion of volumetric fog. Everything it is now much more different, including a different lighting model using PBR, which changes entirely how the light interacts with the materials. Talking about materials, these guys, I'm not really sure what the hell they were trying to accomplish, but they pretty much revamped and remade from scratch almost all the assets. Alright, I was completely jaw dropped when I checked into Digital Foundry video and I saw some of the comparisons that they have made with the original. It's not about the lighting or the better quality in shadows that I'm actually jaw dropped. I'm jaw dropped because they remade a lot, and I really mean a lot of stuff, since trees, since grass, since small stuff like a lamp on the streets, or just a lamp inside an office room that nobody will notice the difference. It is insane. They changed so much stuff into this game, including the level of detail in the characters, as long as including new features into the game. So I don't know. I don't know this team, this Spirasoft team responsible for remasters, but one thing is for sure, I want this team to develop more remasters in the future, because this is insane. The level of things that they did change, it is just huge. The only thing that I don't like too much, it is the way that they changed the lighting, changed a lot of the aesthetic of the game. So outside, you know, during daytime, for example, the game looks very, very different comparing to the original. I'm not really sure if all the people will enjoy that difference. It is better graphically, but still it is very different comparing to the original. Alright, Mafia 2, it was a not so good remaster, but most of the visuals were retained, and the game aesthetic, you know, seems very similar to the original, so that the experience wouldn't be far off, alright? And this game, at least on daytime, it might look really different comparing to the original. For me it is fine, but I know that there are some people that are conservative with that and might not enjoy those lightning changes implemented in the game. Aside from that, I believe that everybody will be very satisfied with this remaster, honestly, because everything it is just simply improved. Alright, so guys, that's all that I want to talk about Saints Row the 3rd Remastered. As you can see, it runs fine on my 8-year-old graphic card. Amazing. Thank you a lot for watching, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
Nothing some explosives can't handle. Look at all this shit. No way they're giving this up without a fight.
What's going on over there? Get behind me!
Ready to crash a party?
We're coming up. Keep the door clear.
Good to be the king.
She wears that shit well. What's the plan here?
Clean the rest of these bastards out of our new place.
Easy enough? Boss, guys are getting dropped off outside. Push their asses back.
There's no way I can do this myself.
Okay, that was impressive. And you?
I'm staying with the boss.
We'll see you when we touch down.
All right, let's go! Hold it steady!
Where did the security come from?
Stay calm and stick to the plan! Thought I shut that thing down!
Troy can't bail you out of this one!
Hell, are we still here?
Control's not responding!
Get it fixed! I'll hold off the cops!
You can't kill them all!
Appreciate that kind of negativity.
This publicity stunt is over! We have to take you in!
Get us higher!
I'm trying not to get shot here!
How much armor's on that damn thing? Damn it, watch where you're flying!
Step away from the vault! Put the vault down!
No shit, you think?
Turn yourself in! My son wants to meet Shandi. Closing it! You've gone too far this time!
That's right, don't fuck with...